Otzelberger, the only ones charged at this stage. But even that sets up the rather startling prospect that a former president of the United States is going to be in the position of having to defend the real estate firm that he built along with his father over the last several decades.
President Biden leaving soon for Surfside, Florida, to meet with the families of those believed to have been killed in the condo building collapse. ABC's Faith Abube is there.
Just after 2 o'clock this morning, rescue workers reported hearing cracks in the building and had to investigate whether the rest of the tower would come crashing down. Just another example of just the risks they're facing here.
6 more bodies were pulled from the rubble Wednesday, including 2 children. That brings the death toll to 18, more than 140 people still missing. Reaction continuing to come into the Pennsylvania Supreme Court overturning Bill Cosby's conviction. Heidi Thomas, one of dozens of women who accused him of sexual assault.
What message is that sending to other victims, to other perpetrators? This is one case, but the precedent they have just set is devastating.
17 people in Los Angeles injured when a police truck carrying a stash of illegal fireworks exploded.
Those items were detonated, and you saw the resulting damage and the total catastrophic failure of that containment vehicle.
LAPD Chief Michael Moore, the vehicle was supposed to contain the material, but for some reason did not. You're listening to ABC News.
If the pandemic's taught us anything, it's that the easiest way for germs to get into your body is the nose. We all know how to wash our hands, but how do you clean your nose? For over 2 million Americans, the answer is Navage Nasal Care. Navage uses powered suction to flush out allergens, mucus, and germs that cause congestion, colds, and flu, so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier. Better yet, Navage is all natural and drug-free. That's why one of America's top respiratory hospitals recommends nasal irrigation to stay healthy, explaining that bacteria and viruses thrive in warm and moist environments and that you can wash away those germs so they don't make your nose their home. Experience Navage at zero risk. Go to Navage.com, buy Navage, and use it for a month. If you're not delighted, return it for a full refund. There's nothing to lose and a lifetime of better breathing to gain. Also available at Target, Walgreens, CVS, Bed Bath, and Rite Aid. Navage, Navage.
The 4th of July weekend just about here, and that means travel, possibly traffic jams, will likely start ramping up in a matter of hours.
Every year, the travel data and analytics firm INRIX predicts when 4th of July getaway travel will be the worst. This year's a little bit tough, though, since so many people still are not back in corporate offices, so the commute traffic is different. But INRIX says a getaway will begin tonight at its worst from 3 to 5 p.m. in many cities, tomorrow at its worst from 4 to 5 p.m., and also Monday, the return traffic from 4 to 5 in the afternoon. Alex Stone, ABC News.
The request by singer Britney Spears to remove her father from the conservatorship in charge of her life has been denied.
Months ago, before last week's explosive statements in court, Britney Spears requested that her dad be removed as conservator of her estate. Judge Brenda Penny, who heard all of the singer's stunning accusations a week ago, has denied the request to give Jamie the boot, at least for now, leaving him in place in charge of Britney's business affairs, but not her medical or personal affairs. Britney's request to end the conservatorship completely is still in the early stages. There's a hearing on that in 2 weeks.
That's ABC's Jason Nathanson. Princes William and Harry reuniting this morning to honor their mother. This would have been Princess Diana's 60th birthday. A statue of her is being unveiled at Kensington Palace. The brothers coming together after their very public fallout following Harry and Meghan's decision to step back from royal duties. This is ABC News.
Ad paid for by CompleteCar.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to the COVID crisis, we are announcing a low-cost extended service plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay nothing for auto repairs. Call 800-549-1985 now. Drivers who are covered by this auto protection will not have to pay for a covered repair bill again. 800-549-1985.
I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
The reasons more and more people are coming to NC Tractor to do business are the selection of Massey Ferguson tractors.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Thursday. We're starting in the mid-70s this morning, so another mild and humid start. Our highs today back in the low 90s, so a hot day expected. Most of us stay dry this afternoon, but then some showers and storms arrive this evening and especially overnight tonight. For Friday, we'll see scattered to widespread showers and thunderstorms for the morning, afternoon, and also into the evening hours. Highs Friday in the upper 70s and near 80. We're drier for the holiday weekend. I'm meteorologist Zach Malak in the Weather Center.
Thank you very much, Zach. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Thursday morning, the July 1st day. We welcome you. It is 71 degrees currently, and the weekend for the July 4th celebration looks like it's going to be outstanding. No rain, but some warm, humid temperatures. So make your plans to enjoy, but make your plans to be safe. 6 minutes after 7 o'clock, I have these death announcements this morning. Ginger Paget Guy, age 58 of Forest City, died Wednesday, June 30th at hospice of the Carolina foothills. Due to family members that are currently out of the country, her funeral service will be held on Saturday, July 24th at 11 o'clock in the First Baptist Church of Forest City, with visitation to follow. A more detailed obituary will be posted in the coming days on the website of the Paget A. King Mortuary for Ginger Paget Guy. Catherine Jeanette Thompson Brock, age 77 of Cove Road, passed away Saturday, June 26th at her home. A celebration of life will be held from 4 until 6 p.m. Saturday, July 17th at Crow's Mortuary in Spindale. Again, that's Catherine Jeanette Thompson Brock. Bob Honeycutt, age 80 of Forest City, passed away Monday, June 28th at the Spartanburg Medical Center. A funeral service will be conducted at 3 o'clock Saturday, July 3rd at Gooch Creek Baptist Church. Burial will follow at Rutherford County Memorial Cemetery. Firefighter honors will be provided by the Fire Department Honor Guard. The family will receive friends from 6 until 8 p.m. on Friday at the funeral home. Harrelson Funeral and Cremation Services entrusted with those arrangements for Bob Honeycutt. William Raymond Carpenter, 62 of Ellenboro, died Tuesday, June 29th at his home. Funeral services will be held at 3 p.m. Friday, July 2nd at First Baptist Church, Forest City. Burial will follow in the Eternal Hills Memorial Park. Family will receive friends on Friday from 1:30 to 2:45 in the fellowship hall of the church. The Paget King Mortuary serving the family of Raymond Carpenter. Bobby Ozark Lovelace, age 84 of Henrietta, passed away Wednesday, June 23rd at Hospice of the Carolina Foothills. A celebration of life gathering will be held from 5 until 8 o'clock today at Harrelson Funeral Home. Harrelson Funeral Home serving the family of Bobby Ozark Lovelace. Charles Robert Arrowwood, age 73 of Rutherfordton, died Friday, June 25th at the Charles George VA Hospice House in Asheville. A memorial service will be held at 4 o'clock today in the Paget King Chapel. Military honors will be accorded by the Rutherford County Honor Guard on the lawn of the chapel. The family will greet family and friends following the service at an outdoor reception. The Paget King Mortuary is in charge of the arrangements for Charles Robert Arrowwood. Dr. Anita Price Davis, age 78 of Spartanburg and Ellenboro, died Sunday, June 27th. Memorial service today will be held at Fernwood Baptist Church in Spartanburg at 11 o'clock, with the family receiving friends prior to the service from 10 until 10:45. Graveside services will follow at Bethel Baptist Church in Ellenboro at 2:30. The Paget A. King Mortuary in charge of those arrangements for Dr. Anita Price Davis. Maxine Estridge Cromer, 84 of Mooresboro, died Tuesday at White Oak Manor, Shelby. The family is planning a private graveside service at Mount Pleasant Baptist Church Cemetery. Washington and Dorsey Funeral and Cremation Service in charge of the arrangements for Maxine Estridge Cromer. Ray Mays passed away peacefully on June 27th at hospice. A family memorial service will be scheduled for a later date, and Harrelson Funeral and Cremation Service entrusted with those arrangements for Ray Mays. Betty Sue Davis Early, 86, passed away Tuesday, June 29th. Funeral services will be held 11 a.m. Saturday, July 3rd at Keesler's Chapel United Methodist Church. Burial will follow in the church cemetery. Crow's Mortuary is assisting the family of Betty Sue Davis Early.
.net Studios in New York. Stand by for the O'Reilly Update Morning Edition. Thousands of abandoned animals in the USA need your help. Delta Rescue, founded by actor Leo Grillo, the largest no-kill Care for Life animal sanctuary in the world. Their trained staff take animals in, provide them with food, water, treats, and affection. And your donation may be eligible to help lower your taxes. So please visit deltarescue.org/bill now.
On this Thursday, I am thinking Donald Trump may be making a mistake by diving back into politics too soon. Yes, President Biden is having some problems, and it's easy to criticize him right now. But I would let the situation unfold a bit more. Now, I expected Mr. Trump would begin his quest to become president again at the end of this year. He told me he would like to run again. And that's why I put together 4 shows with him, live shows. It is known as the History Tour. You may have heard about it. The shows are in Florida and Texas in December, and they will not be rallies. They will not be political situations. They will be fact-based discussions because the media has not honestly reported on the 45th president, what he did or did not do in 4 years. And I think if Mr. Trump wants to run for president again, all Americans, even those who dislike him, need to know what the deuce happened. But Donald Trump is now going out by himself to do rallies across the country and exploit the weakness he sees in Joe Biden. I think it's too early. Now this. Investors, Bill O'Reilly here. Are you sitting on capital or wanting to diversify? The NRIA Real Estate Development Fund provides returns right now. They capitalize on strategic markets. They offer payouts of 10% annualized returns plus bonuses up to 21%. They are a 15-year industry leader who have seen it all. Start your due diligence at nria.net or call 800-800-1414. That's easy. 800-800-1414.
An offer of securities is only made by the NRIA Private Placement Memorandum. Read it first. Past performance does not guarantee future results. NRIA is a real estate development firm. Learn more at nria.net.
That is the Morning O'Reilly Update. More analysis later on.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
The music's on us. WCAB.
A lot of things feel out of control these days. So it's time you pick your battles. Skip playing referee in the morning. Skip laundry this week. Skip game limits today. Skip cooking tonight. New realities require new routines, and it's okay to skip some of the old ones. But don't skip your preteens' well visits and recommended and catch-up vaccinations. A public service announcement from Vaccinate Your Family in collaboration with Merck.
On the 1st of July, 1848, the Army of Northern California numbered 1,290 soldiers. Over the next 18 months, over half of these men deserted. During this time, so many sailors jumped ship that the Pacific Squadron's commander advised the Navy that, for the present and I fear for years to come, it will be impossible for the United States to maintain any naval establishment in California. Just what caused all of these desertions? 2 words: gold fever. Gold had been discovered outside Sacramento, California. An Army private earned $6 a month, while men mining gold were making $200 or $300 a day. A soldier who succumbed to the call of gold wrote, "A frenzy seized my soul. Piles of gold rose up before me at every step. Thousands of slaves bowed down to my beck and call. Myriads of fair virgins contended for my love. In short, I have a violent attack of gold fever." Lieutenant William Tecumseh Sherman, who incidentally had to work on the side as a surveyor in order to make ends meet, said, "None remain behind but we poor devils of officers who were restrained by honor." But the deserters were pursued. Lieutenant Sherman at one time single-handedly captured 18 deserters and held them at bay with his single-shot musket. However, more often than not, when soldiers were sent after deserters, the pursuers and the pursued all ended up in the gold fields. You've just heard another story from Old West Radio. I'm Dakota Livesay.
For a rootin' tootin' great meal, let Jesse James prepare your next lunch. He's got a menu chock full of fresh cooked burgers, fresh salads, hot dogs made any way you like, taco salads, specialty burgers, sandwiches, french fries, and onion rings. Enjoy refreshing milkshakes, Coke floats, or a cone of hand-dipped ice cream. Open Monday through Saturday, 11 to 4, closed Wednesdays and Sundays. Jesse James Railroad Express, 531 Railroad Avenue in Rutherfordton. Call 447-4644. And don't forget the 99-cent hot dogs with mustard, chili, and onions on Mondays only.
Now 7:16 on this July 1st day, brand new month, and we're getting to the phones right now. Let's find out what's been happening in the world of crime fighting, and we go to Deputy Chapman for the Sheriff's Department to find that out. Good morning. How you doing today?
Good. How you doing?
Doing great. Tell us what's been going on in your department.
The last 24 hours, Rutherford County Sheriff's Office responded to 143 calls for service, 14 arrests, and 200 incarcerated in jail. As far as incident reports goes, Joshua Dwayne Swink reported larceny of motor vehicle off of Mara Motor Drive, Forest City. James Harrison Penland reported larceny of motor vehicle off of Romans Road in Ellenboro. Have Ryan L.A. reported misdemeanor larceny off of Newhouse Road in Ellenboro. Have a Joey Ray Lockard reported misdemeanor larceny off of Ledford Road in Ellenboro. So we have for incident reports as far as arrest reports goes. We have Stephen Darrell Langley arrested for assault on a female. Billy Joe Blanton Jr. arrested for communicating threats, second-degree trespassing, and resisting public officer. Have Caroline Mackenzie Long arrested for failure to appear on misdemeanor. Have Justin Keith Anthony Garrett arrested for resisting public officer, breaking and entering, and possess controlled substance in prison or jail premises. Have James Ryan Tilley arrested for felony larceny. Have Mitchell Joseph Martin arrested for a DV protection order violation, obstructing justice, and intimidation of a witness. Have Thomas Anthony Tate arrested for assault on a female. James Clyde Hills arrested for failure to appear on misdemeanor. Got Tevin Maurice Gray arrested for simple possession of Schedule 6 controlled substance and possess controlled substance in jail or prison premises. Have Jack Spangler arrested for true bill of indictment. Have Jason Dwayne Bradley arrested for possession of methamphetamine and possessed drug paraphernalia. Have Lane Gibson Miller arrested for felony aid and abet. Tanya Tessner is arrested for failure to appear on misdemeanor. Elizabeth Horn Taylor arrested for failure to appear on felony and simple possession of Schedule 3 controlled substance. And that's all we have for today, sir.
Deputy Chaplain, thank you very much for that report, and you be safe out there today.
All right. Thanks, sir.
19 minutes after 7 o'clock, first day of July, Call Around News Report.
enjoying music, hanging out with friends, church picnics, fishing, and playing in the creeks and streams of our beautiful mountains. This is summer in Western North Carolina. Getting vaccinated brings us one step closer to enjoying all of that and more. In fact, it's our best shot at getting back to normal. Let's give it a shot, WNC, and bring back summer together. Get vaccinated today. Visit myspot.nc.gov to find your best shot. That's myspot.nc.gov.
And Amber's on the radio now with the 911 Communication Center report for this Thursday morning. Amber, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. What's on your report?
In the past 24 hours, Rutherford County Sheriff's Office 911 Communications has processed 531 911 calls and administrative calls, which consisted of 36 calls for EMS and 17 for rescue. For law enforcement, there were 143 calls for the Sheriff's Office, 48 for Forest City, 7 for Lake Lure, 51 for Rutherfordton, and 57 for Spindale. And for fire calls, Cliffside responded to an industrial fire alarm. Chimney Rock responded to an MVA. Ellenborough also responded to a motor vehicle accident. Forest City Fire responded to an industrial fire alarm, as well as a motor vehicle accident. Rutherfordton responded to a motor vehicle accident, and Union Mills responded to a residential fire alarm. And that's all.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it, and you have a great day.
You too. Thank you so
Bye.
much. Bye.
Farm Bureau Insurance doesn't hire celebrities to push auto coverage. We think people might like to make decisions based on service and savings, not just because that guy from that show says it's a good idea. Instead of faces you know from your TV, we offer faces you know from your neighborhood, because we're headquartered in North Carolina with local agents right in your town. That's really the only thing we want to be famous for. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance, helping you is what we do best.
In Rutherford County, please call 287-2428.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Insurance of North Carolina, Inc., Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi, an independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
Ruby Taylor is next. She's at the Shiloh Danieltown Oakland Community Fire District, and she has our report today. Ruby, how you doing?
I'm doing okay, but Jim, how about you?
Doing just well, thank you. What's on the report?
Well, the fire department didn't have any calls, and on my birthday today, I got Scott Ezel, Shannon Wilkins, and Dwight Burgess having birthdays today. Dwight Byers, rather. And I hope all these people have a nice day. And the signs are in the head today and tomorrow, and that's all I got, Jim.
All right, you got your fireworks all lined up for July 4th?
Yep.
Yeah? Good.
I sure have.
Well, I'll watch for that.
I got something else to do besides that crap.
Yeah, I hear you. All right, you have a good day, and I'll see you next time.
You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
That's Ruby Taylor. Ruby Taylor there in the Danieltown SDO Fire District. Well, if you want to cool it, you can cool it with a trip to Washburn Store, because you can cool it with some of those great ice cream churns. Yep, they keep a good selection over there, and this weekend, the only weekend to do that, get you one of those old-fashioned crank kind that the kids will understand why you're doing that. Let them get a little taste of that crank and the way we used to do it. They also have the regular kind you plug in, let it run itself, but you can find what you're looking for. Plenty of cold drinks. Always a pleasure to do business over there at Washburn Store. If you need a hat to keep the sun out of your eyes while you're out and about this week, it looks like it's going to be sunny, get you a sun hat over there. It's a great, great thing to visit. If you got friends coming in for the 4th, take them by there as well. Washburn General Store between Bostic and Sunshine on the Bostic Sunshine Highway. Now let's head up toward the Fairfield Mountains Fire District and see how Gary Wilson's feeling this morning. Gary, how you doing?
Doing pretty good, Jim. How you doing?
Doing pretty good for a Thursday.
Yeah, did you try that air conditioner out yesterday?
Oh, man, had to do it yesterday.
I tell you, it was a hot day yesterday.
There'll be another one today, I believe.
Yep. The weekend sounds like it's going to be better, but we're going to have another hot day today, looks like. It got pretty warm out there yesterday. Lost power up here a couple times during the day. Not sure what was going on with that. We lost it for about an hour up there at Fairfield. And a little later, it went off again for about 15 minutes.
Boy, that's not good when the air conditioner won't work.
No, that went off no longer than that. And we had one fire call in the last 24 hours. I think Bills Creek also had one, and sitting on about 70 degrees this morning. And everybody getting ready for the big weekend coming up. Bills Creek's going to be having a yard sale and bake sale going on Friday and Saturday, and we'll be doing our back to our normal 4th of July activities up here with fire truck rides for the kids and fireworks that night and all that stuff. So looks for be a busy weekend.
That'll be there at the fire department where the kids can ride the fire trucks?
Yeah. And then Saturday, the town of Lake Lure will be doing their 4th of July on Sunday, rather. We'll be doing ours on Saturday. We kind of switched this year. And have their activities up there on Sunday, so be something going on around about all weekend.
We need to celebrate.
Good time. Everybody can get back out this year after everything went through last year. Hopefully things will continue to improve.
I hope so, too.
And that's about all we got up here, Jim.
All right, Gary, thank you so much, and I look forward to talking to you again tomorrow.
All right, have a good one.
Thanks. 25 after 7 and 71 degrees.
Another season has come and gone, and you're still looking at that same sad-looking sofa or recliner. Well, now's the time to change the inside of your home to look as pretty as the spring and summer colors outside. And the perfect place to start is the Recliner Center. Right now at the Recliner Center, everything is 20% off. That's 20% off sofas, recliners, sofa recliners. If someone you love is having trouble standing, the Recliner Center has all lift chairs on sale for 10% off. All lift chairs, 10% off. Now, some of these chairs can take you from a standing position, then safely back down to a sitting position with no effort on your part whatsoever. Angela is cleaning out merchandise to make room for more. So now's your chance to redecorate your home and take advantage of the great savings at the Recliner Center. All lift chairs, 10% off. Everything else is 20% off. Angela is seeing folks by appointment only, so call 828-395-3562. Call her today. The Recliner Center. They're on Cooper's Gap Road in Rutherfordton.
Checking in now with the Hudlow Fire District, and Bob Hodge is on the phone to give us that update. Good morning, Bob.
Well, good Thursday morning, first day of July.
Happy July to you, yeah.
Yeah. We'll lose 35 minutes of daylight at the end of this month, won't we?
Wow. Well, it goes away fast, doesn't it?
Days will start getting shorter, that's right. Well, Jim, things going along good up here this morning, and we ain't had any fire calls during the night, so that's good. I want to say happy birthday to Don Lale and Joey Harden this morning. And so far, things are going along good up here this morning, and pretty quiet, so maybe it'll stay that way all day today.
Well, wouldn't it be great if everything stayed quiet during this hot weather? Nobody had to get out and fight a fire.
That's right, especially during these holidays coming up here.
Yeah, yeah.
But everybody just be careful and drive slow and watch out for everybody.
Be patient and keep your temper down.
That's right there. But that's about it, Jim. Things are going along good. But you take care and you have a good day over there.
Thanks, Bob. I hope you do too. And I'll check in with you again tomorrow morning if that's okay.
All right.
I'll see you then. Bye-bye. 7:28 here on this July 1st day. As we do the Call Around Report, very popular program here for over 55 years now. So thank you for making it the number one most listened to newscast in the foothills. We appreciate that very much. And we'll get to our next phone call and check things out here in just a moment.
Cheryl, have you been to the Homeworks Design Center inside Henson Building Materials in Forest City?
Oh, yes. Shana, David, and William are incredible at designing kitchen and bath cabinetry for my new she shed.
Your what?
And they have a full line of windows and doors on display in their 5,000 square foot showroom. And they'll install any ones you pick out for me.
Oh, you're too good to me.
I know. With selling and installing, it's basically one-stop shopping.
Henson Building Materials, 177 Duke Street, Forest City.
Building starts here.
All right, let's head over to the Cherry Mountain Fire District and check in with Sue Price. Good morning, Sue.
Good morning, Jim.
You feeling good?
I'm doing good. Hope you are.
Yes, indeed.
Well, happy July.
Yes, thank you. Happy July 1st. If this month passes fast as the other month, it'll be August before you know it.
Oh, no. These months are flying by. Well, let's see. I didn't have any calls from the fire department. I have no birthdays or anniversaries on my church calendar or my personal calendar for today. Fairview's got a birthday for Michael Sursland, so I hope Michael's going to have a good day. And let's see, First Broad's got a birthday for Laura Chastain, so hope Laura will have a good day. And we hope anybody that's having a birthday or anniversary will have a real good day on their special day and enjoy it. Looks like it's going to be a hot day and another hot day, so it's summertime. We just enjoy these days. Enjoy staying in the air conditioning.
Yes, every time I can find a cool spot, I'm heading to it.
Oh, no. Well, I hope you'll have a good day today, Jim.
Thanks, Sue. You too. Stay cool over there, and I'll see you tomorrow.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And we continue rolling around the county this morning and find out what's been happening over there. I want to send a thank you out to Pam. Pam Pilgrim brought us in the other day most delicious carrot cake. She does a great job of that, and I appreciate her thinking of us, and we've enjoyed that and still enjoying it. Pam, thank you so very much. I appreciate it when folks think about us like that. You're very nice, and thank you. Thank you. And again, I say thank you.
Your car's best friend can be RS Speedy Lube Service Center. That's because RS Speedy Lube Service Center and Car Wash can keep your car or truck running clean with a regular oil change. They check the fluids and vacuum out the car and have you on your way in no time. Go next door for a radiator or transmission flush, brakes, exhaust, CV joints, and service for big trucks and campers also available. Pull next door to the RS Speedy Automatic Car Wash and make your car happy with a clean, all under and all over car wash. It's all at RS Service Center and Car Wash on Railroad Avenue in Rutherfordton.
Well, police are investigating the theft of an ATM. Yes, on Tuesday, June 29th, Spindale police responded to a call at Deb's Mini Mart at 277 East Main Street, Spindale, in reference to a theft of an ATM. The ATM was located on the outside of the store, bolted to a concrete pad and to the brick store with a metal cage around the machine. The suspect, or suspects, are believed to have unbolted some of the bolts and cut the other bolts using a saw. Security cameras captured 3 relative images of a vehicle of interest and the driver of the car. Anyone recognizes the car, if you go to the Spindale Police Department website and see the picture of the car, if you know anything about this, please contact the Spindale Police Department, 828-286-3464. They'd like to get people like that off the street.
It can be a tough call when it comes time to provide a daycare service for an aging parent or a loved one. You can always depend on Rutherford Life Services for a safe facility that offers medical monitoring, nutritional meals, fun activities, and is a loving environment. Rutherford Life is licensed by the State of North Carolina Division of Aging. They will be glad to answer any questions you may have. Call them at 288-1697. Rutherford Life Services offers a trained staff of professionals who you can entrust your loved one to. Rutherford Life Services is located at 230 Fairground Road in Spindale.
Well, the Braves came back last night after a terrible loss on Tuesday night to the Mets 4-3. But somewhere along the way, they found their mojo, and they came back last night and beat the Mets 20-2. 20 to Braves, 2 for the Mets. Now, tonight, we have an Owls game. Owls at Spartanburgers. That's the 7:05 first pitch. We'll have that game for you this evening as the Owls continue to do pretty well, too. We'll find out how they do tonight against the Spartanburgers. We're on hold with the Drop-In Family Mart over in Boston to talk about their breakfast specials this morning. We're on hold. We may have to move on here in just a few moments if they're very busy. Did I say that again? Very busy over there. But we like to talk with them and find out what's going on. But if we get a chance to talk with anybody, we'll have to move on. It's 7:34. Nobody gets a better deal than the customers at Sisk Family Ford. They have a proven record of the best deals. Sisk Family Ford, Rutherford County's only locally owned new car dealer, has recently been recognized as the #1 Ford dealer in customer satisfaction in the Southeast. That speaks well of their commitment to serve their customers well. Come take advantage of the springtime sales event and get the automobile you've been wanting. Look for all the new design 2021 F-150 at Rutherford County's only locally owned new car dealership. That's Sisk Family Ford, Oak Street, Forest City. Well, several good things about the Drop-In Family Mart there in Boston. They're always up for any special occasion. And with the July 4th celebrations coming on, they got plenty of picnic supplies. They got ice over there, plenty of ice for your ice coolers, plenty of drinks to put in the coolers, plenty of cold drinks as well. Plus, you can pick up sandwich stuff or make sandwiches. Get some of that delicious pimento cheese back there that I love so well. Or you can go ahead and order something from the deli, have it ready. It's a great place to shop for groceries, a great place to have breakfast this morning because the breakfast is always fresh. And lunch with that chicken over there, you can't beat it. Maybe they can fix you up a box of that chicken to take on your trip for your picnic this weekend. Check with them. They'll be happy to serve you any way they can. If you're buying your groceries and you can't get in and out of the car too good, let them know. Give them the list, and they'll pull that list for you and bring it out to your car. Great customer service. I like that about Drop-In Family Mart Bostic. Go see them as soon as you can. All right, we're going up to Shingle Hollow now. Tina White's on the phone. How you doing?
I am doing mighty fine this morning. Instead of fighting mine, I'm mighty fine.
Sometimes we get our tongue over our teeth and can't see what we're saying. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, it is a beautiful morning up here in Shingle Hollow. 70 degrees. It's already a little humid, so if you got anything to do outside, go ahead and get it done this morning because it's going to be a warm one, I believe.
It is indeed.
Yesterday was real warm and humid, it seemed like. Fire departments, they had no calls over the past 24 hours, so we're thankful that they were all quiet. Birthday calendars today. Piney Knob has Doris Hill, and I hope she has a great big day, celebrates all day long and all year.
Well, Narcissus had one a couple of days ago, didn't he?
He did. So their birthdays are close together.
They could celebrate together, can't they?
Mm-hmm. I think they celebrate every day anyway.
They should.
I love being up here in Shingle Hollow. It's so pretty and good people, good neighbors, and everybody just looks out for each other, and it's a great place to be.
Got any houses for sale up that way?
I think there's several houses for sale, so I'm not really a realtor, but I could look and advertise if I needed to.
Houses are hard to find right now for wherever they are. But anyway, well, that's good that people enjoy the neighborhood up there. Maybe that's because you're so close by, they enjoy your neighbor. You as a neighbor.
I'm sure it has nothing to do with me. It's just a good place to be, and give God the glory that I'm in a great neighborhood.
Yes. Well, get your fireworks all ready. It's 4th of July is coming up. I appreciate talking with you today, and I hope you have a good one.
You too, and everybody stay safe.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. That's Tina White there in the Shingle Hollow Fire District reporting in this morning. Well, the July 4th travelers are going to find the gasoline prices up, according to a report I'm reading. With nearly 48 million people expected to travel over the July 4th holiday, motorists will again feel the pain at the pump, one expected to linger throughout the summer. They could even find gas scarce again, according to this article in the Courier. The Independence Day is expected to be the second highest travel volume of the holiday, with 3.5 million people planning to fly. Air travel volumes this July 4th will reach 90% of the pre-pandemic levels and increase 164% compared to last year, according to AAA Carolinas. Rising fuel prices have become a broken record for 2021. Prices surely to climb for Independence Day travel. Well, while all modes of travel will see increased demand for the 4th, road trips continue to dominate this summer. Despite the highest gas prices in 7 years, more than 91% of holiday travel will be by car. So look out for the gas prices as you travel this weekend. And meanwhile, the highway patrol troopers are going to be out on the highway checking your speed, checking your seat belts, and checking that you're not driving intoxicated. All right, we're going up to Union Mills now and see if Brenda Kelly is there with us. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you on this tremendous Thursday, the first day of July?
I'm happy as I can be this morning.
Well, I'm so glad to hear that. You sound happy.
Well, I'm happy. I've got a brand new great grandbaby.
Oh, really?
Yes,
When was it born?
Born yesterday, morning down in Spartanburg, South Carolina, the Spartanburg Regional Hospital. And the little boy weighs about 7.5 pounds.
Oh, that's a good-sized baby.
Yeah, he's a cutie. I have not been able to see him in person. They sent us a picture, but that's our first great-grandchild, and we're all excited
was
about
he born singing?
No, but if I get my hands on him long, he will be singing. Oh.
Oh, me. Well, I know y'all happy, yeah.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah. That's good. What did they name him?
His name is Neelan.
Oh, that's pretty.
Neelan, and Hoats is her family name, Hoats. Take her family name, and, of course, Bishop. Neelan, he go by Neelan Bishop.
Well, that's good. Yeah, that's a pretty name.
Had a full head of hair, so he's...
Oh, yeah. I bet it's black.
Yeah, it was, yeah. Or it is, yeah. I've never been a great-granddaddy before. I'm not sure how I'm supposed to act.
Well, you just act like you do if it was a grandbaby, you know. It just means we're getting older.
Oh, I tell you. Well, I'm thankful for that.
But life's good, isn't it?
I'm thankful for that.
Yeah, life's good.
It is.
That's right. Well, let's see. I've got 64 degrees on the front porch. Birthday today, I've got Libby Watkins, so I hope Libby has a great old big day on her special day. And then ways of announcements, we got a buffet breakfast at the Gilkey School Community Center. Starts at 7 a.m. and goes to 10 a.m. This will be Saturday, July the 10th. Adults, $7. Kids 6 to 12, $3. Kids 5 and under, free. And it's all you can eat, and they have all kind of good food. And the money goes to help rebuild the old school. And then at the Union Mills Learning Center on July the 9th, we got Polk County Line. They have a meal available. It begins at 6 p.m., and the cost of the meal is $5. The music begins at 7 p.m., and there's no cost for the music, but you do have a tip jar for the band. And so far, I reckon that's all I got to announce. I don't know of anything else. Everybody just getting ready for the 4th.
Yep.
Everybody needs to be safe.
Yep. You gonna cook a big pot of pintos and black-eyed peas or something?
No, I'm gonna cook Saturday. It's little David's birthday will be Saturday, and I'm gonna cook a rack of ribs. I'm gonna barbecue them and baked beans. And he wanted a strawberry cake with homemade chocolate icing, so I'll do that. And I don't know what else I'll have to go with it. So
you don't have it spoiled or anything, do you?
Yes, he's spoiled. He always has been.
Well, that's what a grandma's supposed to do.
Yeah, that's right. And so I can't decide what else I want to go with that besides the baked. Oh, I'm gonna have a sliced cantaloupe. I'm gonna have that.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, I wish I could go out and get a fresh tomato out of the garden, but they're not ripe yet.
Not quite ready.
No, not quite ready. But it won't be long, will it?
No, it won't be long.
But I guess you better go check on Luther Sweet Thing Gilligan, see if he's still doing all right.
Well, you enjoy your day, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Catch you later.
Bye.
Thinking about the departure of a loved one through death is a subject we don't like to talk about. However, pre-planning or prepaying for a funeral is a consideration and responsible thing to do. With so many options available today, it's important to speak with someone you can trust and someone who can help you find a balance between the emotional, spiritual, and financial needs of your loved ones. Crow's Mortuary and Crematory is recognized as one of the best family-run funeral homes. It's a family tradition, and they know how to care for your family. Any questions you might have, they will be happy to answer. Call Crow's Mortuary and Cremation Services at 286-2304.
Now we welcome Luther Gilligan to the radio for this final report and see what things are going on in Ellenboro. Luther, good morning.
Good morning. Having a good time down here this morning. Sun's shining, I'm shining. We're both going out. We're going to be warm today.
All right.
But it's quiet this morning. Not a whole lot. Well, it's not much of anything. Everybody's just trying to get on in to get this last day of work done. You see, the fire department had 2 medical calls, had 1 accident, and they're quiet this morning. So nothing else happening with them. So you have a good day up there. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Ellenboro is not doing anything special for July 4th over there. They don't have any town-wide function or anything?
No, nothing going on. this 4th of July.
Okay. Yeah. All righty. Well, you be safe over there and take care of yourself, and I'll see you next time.
All right, take care. Have a good weekend.
You too. Bye-bye. That's Lucy Gilligan there reporting from Ellenboro. They used to have that, big day over there or something, I believe, around July 4th. It was enjoyed by many, but a lot of work, I'm sure, went into that organizing. Getting people to step up to the plate to help with the organization is sometimes a challenge. So I don't know what towns, if any of them, are doing anything special over the weekend other than Owls are having a fireworks on Saturday night, I think, and or maybe tonight in the morning. I'm not sure the schedule. I've got that here somewhere. I'll find it in a minute. But we hope the folks can get out and enjoy something, if it's just in your backyard, with doing some s'mores. Birthday time and anniversary time now at 287-3356. It is the first day of July, July 1st. And I think a while ago I tore the wrong one off the calendar. I'm looking at August. It should be July. So if you're celebrating today, 287-3356, call it to us now. We'll give you a big shout-out, and we hope you will let us celebrate with you on this first day of July.
Good morning. These are your headlines. Market declines, unemployment, oil prices. These can be pretty scary. Hi, I'm your Edward Jones financial advisor, Andrew Tisdale. And I'll work with you to help you understand the impact of these just short-term events and how it's not going to affect your long-term goals. We can provide the tools and the reasoned, disciplined approach on how to invest. So please, don't let these headlines derail your long-term financial strategy. Call us today, 828-287-9197. Our office is located in the Food Line Plaza in Rutherford. This was Edward Jones, Making Sense of Investing, and a member of the SIPC. Bye.
Well, if you're having a big party this weekend or tonight maybe, or having a game, playing games with your family, it's a movie night, order your pizza from Grady B's. They got some delicious, great pizzas over there. You'll enjoy that. If you've never tried one, you should do that one time. And I know you'll be back again and again for it, because they're selling a lot of pizzas now, and you'll enjoy getting yours from there. Just call them up and tell them what you're looking for, or go by there and order it, and find yourself enjoying that pizza from Granny B's, super deluxe pizza. And always plenty of room for donuts and pinafores, and if you like lunch and one of those sub sandwiches over there, they got those too. Boy, it's a great place to have lunch. You'll find it very enjoyable and very tasty. That's Granny B's. All right, let's hit the old theme.
Happy birthday.
Nobody celebrating with us today. Nobody celebrating with us today. Birthdays called in. So we'll wait and see who gets birthday tomorrow, anniversary tomorrow as well. A lot of birthdays in July, I know. We'll find out who they are tomorrow.
In Focus on the Family, Rolf Zetterson wrote, "A good friend in North Carolina bought a new car with a voice warning system. At first, Edwin was amused to hear the soft female voice gently remind him that his seatbelt wasn't fastened. Edwin affectionately called this voice the little woman. He soon discovered his little woman was programmed to warn him about his gasoline. 'Your fuel level is low,' she said one time in her sweet voice. Edwin nodded his head and thanked her. He figured he still had enough to go another 50 miles, so he kept on driving. But a few minutes later, her voice interrupted again with the same warning, and so it went over and over. Although he knew it was the same recording, Edwin thought her voice sounded harsher each time. Finally, he stopped his car and crawled under the dashboard. After a quick search, he found the appropriate wires and gave them a good yank. So much for the little woman. He was still smiling to himself a few miles later when his car began sputtering and coughing. He ran out of gas. Somewhere inside the dashboard, Edwin was sure that he could hear the little woman laughing. People like Edwin learned before long that the little voice inside, although ignored or even disconnected, often tells them exactly what they need to know. That voice has been put there by our Creator to help us travel successfully through life. This is Bill Hostler with today's Key to Confident Living.
Good morning. Good
I'm Sherry Preston. In custody in New York this morning, one of the top executives in former President Trump's company. Here's ABC's Aaron Katursky.
Trump Organization Chief Financial Officer Alan Weisselberg surrendered to authorities here in New York, who will unseal charges against him and the company contained in the first criminal indictment following a 2-year investigation into the former president's business practices. A statement from the Trump Organization called Weisselberg a loving and devoted husband, father, and grandfather who is being used as a pawn in what the company called a scorched earth attempt to harm the former president.
The charges against Weisselberg will be revealed this afternoon. A week after the deadly condo collapse in Surfside, Florida, President Biden has left for the region. He and the First Lady will meet with first responders, search and rescue teams, the families of the victims, Governor Ron DeSantis, and other local leaders. ABC's Morgan Norwood is there.
As crews prepare for the threat of severe weather, shocking new video shot just 7 minutes before the deadly collapse. Adriana Sarmiento shot the video. In it, you can see water cascading into the parking garage below the building, debris falling to the ground in the same area of concern mentioned in a 2018 structural report.
18 bodies pulled from the rubble so far, including 2 children, ages 4 and 10. A warning from World Health Organization Regional Director Dr. Hans Klug in Europe about COVID cases. He says they could rise again soon.
The 3 conditions for a new wave of excess hospitalizations and deaths before the autumn are therefore in place. New variants, deficit in vaccine uptake, increased social mixing.
The WHO recommending people continue wearing masks inside public places because of it. Now, the CDC said yesterday that doesn't hold true in the U.S. because so many have been vaccinated. Excessive heat in the Pacific Northwest moving inward. It's believed it's been responsible for more than 70 deaths. This is ABC News.
Ad paid for by CompleteCar.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to the COVID crisis, we are announcing a low-cost extended service plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay nothing for auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay nothing for auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-549-1985 now. Drivers who are covered by this auto protection will not have to pay for a covered repair bill again. This auto coverage is at an all-time low, much lower than what dealerships are charging. Additionally, drivers who activate this auto coverage today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and free rental car at no additional cost. Call for your free quick quote today. 800-549-1985. 800-549-1985. What do you have to lose? Again, 800-549-1985.
The sons of Princess Diana, William and Harry, coming together this morning at Kensington Palace. They're unveiling a statue in her honor. Today would have been Diana's 60th birthday. A federal judge is set to hear arguments today over Georgia's election law. The suit, brought by voting rights activists, says the law criminalizes normal election observation activities. Georgia officials say the law is necessary to secure elections. Los Angeles city leaders are set to put new restrictions on where the homeless can set up camps. A measure before the city council would make it illegal to pitch tents on many sidewalks, beneath highway overpasses, or near parks. Dozens of people arrested in a coupon scam.
The investigation began last year when retailers noticed customers using an inordinate number of coupons. In the Houston area, says Montgomery County Sheriff's Captain Tim Holyfield.
One individual purchased items valued at $200,000 in 1 year's time.
The coupons were the product of a ring of counterfeiters working in 23 states. Along with the fake coupons, police seized $40,000 worth of cleaning products, toys, even pet food, which had been purchased with them. It won't all sit in an evidence locker. The goods have been donated to nonprofit organizations that can use them. Jim Ryan, ABC News, Dallas.
And 80 years ago today, the first commercial appeared on television. It was an ad for Bulova watches. It ran during a Dodgers game, and it cost the company $9. This is ABC News.
If the pandemic's taught us anything, it's that the easiest way for germs to get into your body is the nose. Navage uses powered suction to flush out allergens, mucus, and germs that cause congestion, colds, and flu, so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier. Experience Navage at zero risk. Go to Navage.com, buy Navage, and use it for a month. If you're not delighted, return it for a full refund. There's nothing to lose and a lifetime of better breathing to gain. Navage, Navage.
I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Jesse James Railroad Express is becoming the Rutherford County hotspot with new lunch menu, quarter-pounder Angus beef burger topped with bacon, cheddar cheese, bang bang sauce, and onion rings, or the new 5-3-1 burger, half-pound charbroiled Angus burger with special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a toasted bun. It's everything that Big Mac wishes it could be. On top of that, milkshakes, hand-dipped ice cream also available. Open Monday through Saturday, 11 until 4. Closed Wednesday and Sunday. Call them at 828-447-4644. 99-cent hot dogs with mustard, chili, and onions, Mondays only. That's 531 Railroad Avenue in Rutherfordton. All aboard.
Hello, everyone, and happy Thursday this afternoon. Most of us will be on the drier side with a partly cloudy sky. Hot day ahead, though, with highs today in the low 90s, feeling hotter as well with the humidity this afternoon. Some showers, though, arrive this evening, and especially overnight tonight. We'll see scattered showers and thunderstorms for your Friday morning commute. More rain and storms becoming widespread Friday midday through the afternoon and also into the evening. Highs Friday in the upper 70s and near 80. I'm meteorologist Zach Malak in the Weather Center.
Currently 72 degrees and a warm first day of July as we face the July 4th weekend with beautiful weather. No rain in that forecast at all. Matter of fact, once we get through the possibility of some showers tonight and early tomorrow morning, the showers are gone after Friday night for the next 5 days. So we have a good weekend to do what we do on July 4th weekend with family and friends and cookouts and fireworks and strolling around the park and fishing and doing everything that we are free to do in this country. And let's enjoy them while we still have that freedom to do those things. Love July 4th. Love it, love it, love it. All right, it's 6 minutes after the hour. We got a lot to pack in this next hour here. 9:05 this morning is My Great America with Jim and Butch as we approach the holiday celebration. We hope you'll make your plans to spend some time with us over the weekend and enjoy some patriotic music as we go through the weekend, because it is important that we raise the banner, raise that flag high, and recognize that we are here today because somebody else was there for us years ago, gave their life for us. All right, we'll look at some stories from here and there coming up here in just a moment.
You say hello every time you pick up your phone, but what else do you say hello to? With Bark Mobile, you can say hello to summer, to adventure, to doing what you love, because you're also saying hello to freedom, flexibility, and great deals. Like getting a free Moto G stylus when you switch for a limited time, $100 savings when you bring the device you already love, or 2 lines unlimited data for just $35 a month per line with AutoPay. Say hello to something new. It's just a phone call away with Bark Mobile. Bark Mobile, mobile made easy. Certain restrictions apply. See store for details or visit mybarkmobile.com/terms and conditions.
All right, some stories here locally. The police are probing a stolen ATM machine. Yes, somebody ripped it out of the wall in Spindale. On Tuesday, June 29th, Spindale police responded to a call at Deb's Mini Mart at 277 East Main Street in Spindale in reference to a theft of an ATM. The ATM was located on the outside of the store, bolted to a concrete pad and to the brick store with a metal cage around the machine. The suspect or suspects are believed to have unbolted some of the bolts and cut the other bolts using a sawzall. Security cameras are captured these relative images of a vehicle of interest. You can go to the Spindale Police Department website. I think you'll see the car. If anyone recognizes the car or you know anything about this, please contact the Spindale Police Department at 286-3464, 286-3464. Brendan Gosey, an educator. He's on the Board of Education here at Rutherford County. An educator and coach with 14 years of experience in the Cleveland County and Rutherford County schools, has been named Pinnacle Classical Academy's athletic director. A graduate of Western Carolina University, Gosey has worked as head coach of East Rutherford High School's varsity cross country and track teams and coordinator of Isle-Thorma Community College's adult high school. Since 2014, he's served as an elected member of the Rutherford County Board of Education. Governor Patrick McCrory appointed Gosey to the Southern Regional Education Board, and House Speaker Tim Moore named him to the Opioid Sentencing Reform Task Force. Gosey is currently a member of the Disciplinary Hearing Commission of the North Carolina State Bar. So he'll be joining Pinnacle Classical Elementary, a Classical Academy, as athletic director. Congratulations to Brandon Gosey. Well, all school resource officers in Rutherford County and Polk counties have now undergone the active shooter threat training program. As of last week, according to Captain Leon Godlock of the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office, that means schools are safer, especially when it comes to threats of gun violence. The program, which consists of 32 hours of training, was organized by Godlock with the blessing of the Sheriff's leadership and used instructors from the federal law enforcement training centers in Charleston, South Carolina, and Maryland. The training took place Tuesday through Friday, June 22nd through the 25th on the campus of Thomas Jefferson Grammar School. The trainers and equipment were provided by the federal government. Godlock said the planning process is extensive. We actually submitted our request for the federal authorities about 2 years ago. It takes that long to get approved. But the wait, Godlock said, is worth it. The training was designed to give the participants realistic active shooting experiences. There were 4 trainers in addition to 11 role players. Over the past several months, more and more shootings have dominated the national news. Godlock says that the ASTTP training will be beneficial not only in school settings, but in any setting where there are large numbers of people, including churches. Perhaps one of the most significant portions of the training centered around single officer response tactics. Out of the 20 participants in last week's ASTTP training, 14 were school resource officers. The state evictions moratorium ends today after Republican members of the Council of State rejected a 1 month extension, which would have aligned with the national CDC evictions moratorium through July 31st. So the eviction moratorium ends today. Governor Roy Cooper said it's disappointing to see Council of State members revoke eviction protections for people still struggling to stay in their homes. Many North Carolinians still need help and will work to make sure landlords abide by the CDC evictions moratorium and that tenants can access rent and utility assistance from the counties and the state HOPE program. Under the Emergency Management Act, the governor has requested the concurrence of the Council of State for each extension of the eviction moratorium. On Monday, the governor requested that the Council of State approve extending the moratorium through July in line with the CDC and go do our thing and find jobs, because I would say, 75% or 80% maybe of places in our county and our state are asking for help, having job fairs all over the place, advertising job needs, yet they go unfulfilled because it's too easy to sit home and draw a check and not have to pay a rent. Well, I mentioned a little earlier, this is a story also from the courier staff. With nearly 48 million people expected to travel over the July 4th holiday, motorists will again feel the pain at the pump. One expected to linger throughout the summer months. They could even find gas scarce again. We don't want to go back to those days, Jimmy Carter, when we still had to sit in line on alternate days. We had alternate days. We could only go on this day, or this day. And lines were long, gas was short. We don't want to go back there. This Independence Day is expected to be the second largest travel volume for the holiday. With 3.5 million people planning to fly, air travel volumes this July 4th will reach 90% of the pre-pandemic levels and increase 164% compared to last year, according to AAA Carolinas. Rising fuel prices have become a broken record for 2021. Prices surely to climb for Independence Day travel. While all modes of travel will see increased demand for the 4th, road trips continue to dominate this summer. Despite the highest gas prices in 7 years, more than 91% of holiday travel will be by car. Although oil production remains strong, the increased demand for gas from more travelers will keep gas prices consistently steep throughout the summer. Add the current shortage of truck drivers transporting oil, and the July 4th demand could lead to another fuel shortage, with stations running on fumes. The national average for gasoline this weekend expected to be around $3.11, the highest since 2014. Those prices are especially hurtful considering last year's COVID-induced price of $2.18 last year. So it's a big jump from $2.18 to $3.11. Paula Twiddell, I guess it is, Senior Vice President of AAA Travel, said travel is in full swing this summer as Americans eagerly pursue travel opportunities they deferred for the last year and a half. We saw strong demand for travel around Memorial Day and kickoff of summer, and all indications now point to the busy Independence Day to follow. But the gas companies, knowing that we're going to travel, they're going to raise the price. They're not going to make it easy for us. And it's not your local stores doing it. 16 minutes after 8 o'clock. We'll be back here in just a moment.
Smith's Drugs of Forest City will once again sponsor the Meet Me at the Fountain 5K race on July the 24th. And this year's race will be a live event, pending no changes in the current downward trend of the new COVID cases. Go to www.facebook.com/meetmeatthefountain5k for more information and to get sponsorship forms. All forms must be returned by July the 5th. Beneficiaries this year are the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, Yoke Fellow, and the Chase Corner Ministries. And now the soda fountain is now fully open, and Smith's Drugs is no longer offering curbside for the fountain. However, the back door is still locked as Smith's Drugs continues curbside service for the pharmacy only. The COVID-19 vaccination is available Monday through Friday only, and walk-ins are welcome. Again, the soda fountain now open at Smith's Drugs. And don't forget the upcoming 5K race. So get your sponsorship forms at Smith's Drugs in Forest City.
And they are having a hot water problem there at Smith's Drugs lunch counter, and they've had to have that closed all week, so hopefully they'll get that open maybe by tomorrow. But they have not been able to have any service because no hot water back there in the kitchen. Now, some other stories of interest. You know, the left must be so afraid, in a panic mode, that Donald Trump's going to run again, because they're doing all they can to hurt him, to bring him down. Now they pull out another investigation about his businesses back way before he was president. And officials in Alabama canceled a rally when they heard Trump was going to be the speaker. Officials have canceled a rally in a public park in Alabama after discovering that it would be former President Donald Trump who would be speaking. It may be the latest iteration of Trump deranged syndrome, the affliction that causes his political opponents to take the opposite stance on any issue just because it opposes Trump, called the Trump derangement syndrome. There's a lot of that out there. Some suggest that Joe Biden's decision to obliterate security measures at the southern border, allowing hundreds of thousands of illegal aliens to move into the U.S. to claim public benefits, was because of Trump syndrome, deranged syndrome. The Wall Street Journal editorialized not long ago, quote, "Research has shown that TDS appears in 5 stages, each of advanced intensity. Perhaps there will be some value, if not promise, of dismemberment in setting these parameters out for public awareness." It continues, "The cause of TDS is clear enough. Donald Trump, his looks, his manner, his nearly every utterance. So far, there is no known cure. Ventilators are unnecessary in TDS for people who progress beyond the first stage, tend to vent quite vigorously on their own," end quote. The event was to be at the USS Alabama Battleship Memorial Park. Park officials said that no partisan events were allowed. So they were canceling the event because they heard Donald Trump was coming. All right, we have a sheriff's report coming up with Deputy Chapman here in just a few moments, right after we do this. You know, there is a lot of misleading information about Medicaid eligibility. The Arledge Law Firm would like for you to know the truth. For instance, if you need a nursing home, Medicaid will take your home. That's not true. Another one is, if you transfer assets, you have to wait 60 months to qualify. Again, not true. And this big one, if you're already in a nursing home, it's too late to protect your assets. Not true, not true, not true. Call attorneys Gerald N. Willis, Kent Baldwin, or Martin Gerard at the Arledge Law Firm and get free consultation and learn the truth. It's more likely than you think that you may qualify for nursing home care and not lose everything you own. It's worth a call to Arledge Law Firm at 287-3338, located on East Court Street in Rutherfordton. We're scheduled to have an Owls game tonight. Owls and the Spartanburgers, 7:05 first pitch tonight. Braves are playing the Mets, but due to the local interest of the Owls, we will be preempting the Braves game, do the Owls game, 7:05. Join us for that this evening. It's always exciting. They have had some interesting games. They've had some long games, but maybe this will not be that way. The Spartanburgers are a pretty good team. Owls are a pretty good team, so match those two up. Should have been an exciting evening. They're on the road to Spartanburg tonight, so we'll carry that game back home to you. So tune in tonight, 100.9 FM, 590 AM for the Owls and Spartanburgers, 7:05 first pitch. Captain Chapman was with us earlier this morning. He gave us a report from the Sheriff's Department. We recorded it for broadcast at this time. Deputy Chapman?
In the last 24 hours, Rutherford County Sheriff's Office responded to 143 calls for service, 14 arrests, and 200 incarcerated in jail. As far as incident reports goes, Joshua Dwayne Swink reported larceny of motor vehicle off of Mara Motor Drive, Forest City. James Harrison Penland reported larceny of motor vehicle off of Romans Road in Ellenboro. Have Ryan L.A. reported misdemeanor larceny off of Newhouse Road in Ellenboro. Have a Joey Ray Lockard reported misdemeanor larceny off of Ledford Road in Ellenboro. So we have for incident reports as far as arrest reports goes, we have Stephen Darrell Langley arrested for assault on a female. Billy Joe Blanton Jr. arrested for communicating threats, second-degree trespassing, and resisting public officer. Have Caroline McKenzie Long arrested for failure to appear on misdemeanor. Have Justin Keith Anthony Garrett arrested for resisting public officer, breaking and entering, and possess controlled substance in prison or jail premises. Have James Ryan Tilley arrested for felony larceny. Have Mitchell Joseph Martin arrested for a DV protection order violation, obstructing justice, and intimidation of a witness. Have Thomas Anthony Tate arrested for assault on a female. James Clyde Hills arrested for failure to appear on misdemeanor. Got Tevin Maurice Gray arrested for simple possession of Schedule 6 controlled substance and possess controlled substance in jail or prison premises. Have Jack Spangler arrested for true bill of indictment. Have Jason Dwayne Bradley arrested for possession of methamphetamine and possessed drug paraphernalia. Have Lane Gibson Miller arrested for felony aid and abet. Tanya Tessner is arrested for failure to appear on misdemeanor. Elizabeth Horn Taylor arrested for failure to appear on felony and simple possession of Schedule 3 controlled substance. And that's all we have for today, sir.
24.5 minutes past the hour, 8 o'clock. Coming up, update on sports news, and top of the hour, 9:05, My Great America with Jim and Butch this morning. Remember, the Braves had a great night last night. Let's hope they continue with that momentum. They beat the Mets 20-2 last night. They were in a hitting mode last night. 20-2 last night, and they play them again tonight, but we will be with the Owls tonight. Owls and Spartanburgers this evening, and that's at 7:05. We'll keep you posted on the Braves as the night rolls on as well. Sports Update is coming next, and we'll be back with more news from here and there.
NCN Sports. Good morning. I'm Tony Bixby. Mississippi State scored early and built on its lead, and the Bulldogs won their first College World Series national championship, a 9-0 victory over Vanderbilt in Omaha in the deciding game. Mississippi State coach Chris Lemonis says that he's glad the Bulldogs were able to bring home the department's first ever national championship.
I mean, I haven't even been able to walk down the street for the last 4 days. I have to stay in my room because our fans have taken over the city, and the expectations and all the great players for years after years that have played here, to bring home the trophy is just awesome.
Vanderbilt losing pitcher Kumar Rocker says he hopes returning players can win a title as he did in 2019.
I say it just sets it up for the future. And personally left it all out there. And before the season started, I said to myself that I want these young guys to experience exactly what I experienced. And came a game short of that, but that's part of it.
Former NC State star Trey Turner hit for the cycle for a record-tying third time, leading the Nationals in a 15-6 romp over the Tampa Bay Rays. Craig Heist has details from Washington.
Trey Turner tied a major league record by hitting for the cycle for the third time in his career as the Nationals beat the Rays 15-6. Turner had a single, double, and his 14th home run of the year before finishing off the feat with a triple in the sixth inning. It was the Nats' fourth win in a row, and they've now won 9 of 11 and 16 of 21. Jordy Mercer and Starlin Castro also homered for Washington. John Lester battled through 5 innings for the win, while Ryan Sheriff suffered the loss in relief. Craig Heist, Washington.
Phoenix Suns advanced to the NBA Finals last night. Mike Breen with the call.
The Western Conference Finals are done. The Phoenix Suns, for the first time in 28 years, are going back to the NBA Finals.
You're listening to NCN Sports.
Medicaid is changing in North Carolina, but your local community health centers are still here to care for all patients, whether or not you have health coverage. If you want to make changes to your Medicaid coverage, act now by visiting ncmedicaidplans.gov. That's ncmedicaidplans.gov, where you can choose your local community health center as your primary care provider for affordable, high-quality health care. This message brought to you by the North Carolina Community Health Center Association.
Hey, I'm Katie Webster with North Carolina Emergency Management. Severe weather can happen throughout the year in North Carolina. You can protect yourself and your loved ones by being prepared. Have a family emergency plan. Assemble an emergency kit with a 3-day supply of non-perishable food and water. Download an emergency alert app, have a weather alert radio, and listen to local weather reports. Go to readync.org for more severe weather safety tips. This message is brought to you by the North Carolina Department of Public Safety.
Beginning today, hundreds of thousands of college athletes are able to earn a form of compensation that had been barred for decades, the NCAA clearing the way for compensation based on the use of name, image, or likeness. Tom Dundon is now the sole owner of the Carolina Hurricanes after buying out the remaining shares of the NHL club held by Peter Kramanos and others. The league's Board of Governors unanimously approved the transaction on Wednesday. Dundon became the majority owner back in 2018. Chip Ganassi is pulling out of NASCAR at the end of the season. He sold his entire organization to Trackhouse Racing. Ganassi telling the Associated Press that Trackhouse owner Justin Marks made him an offer that he had to consider. Ganassi will still run his IndyCar teams. Tony Rixby, NCN Sports.
Hello, everyone, and happy Thursday this afternoon. Most of us will be on the drier side with a partly cloudy sky. Hot day ahead, though, with highs today in the low 90s, feeling hotter as well with the humidity this afternoon. Some showers, though, arrive this evening, and especially overnight tonight. We'll see scattered showers and thunderstorms for your Friday morning commute. More rain and storms becoming widespread Friday midday through the afternoon and also into the evening. Highs Friday in the upper 70s and near 80. I'm meteorologist Zach Malak in the Weather Center.
Warming up slowly. It's 73 now. Started out at 71, warming up at 73, but in just a little while now that day is beginning to move on, it's going to jump up real fast to 89, possibly 90 again for a daytime high. Another warmer scorcher out there with the humidity kind of high too. So we encourage, as I did yesterday, please be aware of your elderly neighbors that you might know that may not have air circulating as well as you do. So check with them and provide some circulation, a fan maybe, or even one of those funeral fans or something, so they at least have some circulation of air. Make sure they have plenty of cold water to drink, And keep them in your mind, because this weather can be very treacherous for particularly elderly people, and they're not quite sure quite how to handle it. So we want to take care of them. All right, let's see if we can move on with 9:05 this morning. Butch and I will be on with My Great America with Jim and Butch. A few weeks ago, the chairman of the Republican Party presented an idea to the Republican Executive Committee, and we would be presented to the commissioners and other folks and have opportunities for the general public to be a part of this. It's a resolution declaring that Rutherford County become a safe city or safe county, and urging citizens to promote and defend the inalienable right to life and the inherent dignity of all human beings, born and preborn, from fertilization of natural death. In other words, it would make Rutherford County no tolerant city of babies' deaths. Whereas the Declaration of Independence affirms that all men are created equal and have been endowed by the Creator with unalienable rights, chief among them the right to life, and that the protection of these rights is an affirmative duty of federal, state, and local governments. And it goes on a lot of the whereases, that now therefore it be resolved, the hereby recognizes and declares the full humanity of the preborn child, and declares Rutherford County to be a safe county with the dignity of all human beings from fertilization through natural death will be defended and promoted. So you'll be seeing more about that and presenting that. Some states are doing that already. Some of the more conservative-leaning states are doing that, making it a safe state, and defunding Planned Parenthood, not allowing abortions to be given in those states. And that's sort of what this is, just a step forward to let folks know that we believe in the sanctity of life here in the county and disapprove of the liberty to just kill a baby at will. So you'll hear more about that. I can't go into all the details on it right now, but when you see that or hear about that, you'll know that you've been at least alerted to what's going on. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki, you've seen her. She's the lady in front of the cameras all the time with the red hair, speaking for the president. She on Wednesday could not name one Republican who said they wanted to defund the police. And what they've done is tossed it out to the national media that it was the Republicans who wanted to defund the cops. Everybody with any brain at all knows that's not true. But they're trying to toss it out there and see what sticks to the wall. And if it sticks, then they'll go with it. And any sensible journalist, a news person in the right mind, know that that is absolutely not true. The Republicans have fought against that idea since it first brought up. Defund the cops, we're wanting to enable the cops, give them what they need to make it a better opportunity to work as police officers. But they're saying that it was Republicans who wanted to defund the police. Now, that's about as big a lie as you can possibly tell. I'm surprised her nose didn't grow about 2 feet when she said that again. She could not, when one of the reporters asked her to name somebody that she knew of as a Republican that was in favor of that, she could not name one Republican who said they wanted to defund the police. So we catch them in obvious lies time after time after time. And the national news media, the CNNs and the Washington Post and New York Times, they don't call them on it. That's why they do it. They throw it out there, see if it sticks. And somebody who is less informed, as you are, will say, oh, I didn't know the Republicans wanted to defund the cops. My goodness. Well, that's what they do. They toss it out there. And when you're not informed, when all you listen to are the National Enquirer folks and the Whoopi Goldberg folks and the Joey Behar folks that never give you the truth about it, then you don't really know the truth. But I'll assure you, if you stay tuned right here, you're going to get the truth. It may be hurting sometime, but the truth will be given. And it bothers me that we have folks in leadership that just absolutely, just blatantly tell a lie. Now, we can be misunderstood sometimes. We can say something we don't quite understand and say it because we think we understand. But when you absolutely know it's a lie, and that absolutely is a lie, when they say the Republicans wanted to defund the police department. So they asked her about it. She couldn't name one Republican who said they wanted to defund the police. Instead, she doubled down on her assertion that Republicans defunded the police by voting against the American Rescue Plan, adding that for decades they tried to cut funding for the COPS program. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki on Wednesday doubled down on her assertion that Republicans defunded the police by voting against the American Rescue Plan. Fox News White House correspondent Peter Ducey asked Psaki, "You mentioned at the last briefing that you think Republicans wanted to defund the police because they did not support the American Rescue Plan. Which Republican ever said that they did not like the American Rescue Plan because they wanted to defund the police?" That's when she moved on and couldn't answer the question. He caught her red-handed in a big, bold-faced lie. Well, I guess you've heard by now that Bill Cosby has been released from prison and his sentence overthrown. There's a lot of debate as to whether or not that was a good idea or a bad idea. Should they have done that? Why did they do it? Was all that a mistake? Is something going on? A lot of questions when that kind of thing. A celebrity like Bill Cosby, it was a shocker to him being even accused of that. But he was sentenced and they found him guilty. They put him in prison. But now they've overturned that sentence and let him out. Throughout the sentence, throughout the charges. Well, his actress wife on the TV show, Felicia Rashad, she's now a Howard University dean. She played his television wife for nearly 8 years. She celebrated Wednesday's Pennsylvania Supreme Court decision to reverse the 2018 conviction and sentencing on sexual assault charges. Rashad said, "Finally, a terrible wrong is being righted. A miscarriage of justice is corrected." Cosby, 83, was released after serving 3 years of a 3 to 10-year sentence for sexually assaulting Andre Constant in his suburban Philadelphia home in 2004. Constant was then Temple University's director of basketball operations. She testified that Cosby drugged and then sexually assaulted her when she visited the home but did not go to the police until a year later. Notice how that works. Then Montgomery County District Attorney Bruce Castor determined at the time that he would have a hard time with Constant's credibility and did not have any forensic evidence for the criminal trial, so he decided not to prosecute the case. Instead of a criminal conviction, the agreement not to prosecute then required Cosby to testify at Constant's civil trial, which he admitted giving her quaaludes before having sex with her. The subsequent district attorney then used that admission to criminally charge Cosby, and it was the basis for his conviction and sentence, violating his due process rights by changing the agreement, according to the court. The decision to charge or not to charge a defendant can be conditioned, modified, or revoked at the discretion of the prosecutor. However, the discretion vested in our Commonwealth's prosecution, however passed, does not mean that its exercise is free of the constraints of due process, according to what the judge said. Rashad, 73, who is now a dean at Howard University, said she played the wife for 8 seasons and has been a constant voice of support for the embattled star since the allegation from Constant and dozens of other women became public. The case was one of the first to spark the Me Too movement. Remember that? Regarding the sexual assault of women, which brought several key Hollywood figures like producer Harvey Weinstein into public scandal. Rashad was named dean of Howard University in May and is to start the job July 1st. After her post, several responses criticized her position. Quote, as a at Howard U School of Fine Arts alum and as survivor, this tweet from at Felicia Rashad is disappointing. Alicia Sanchez replied, "I hope we can have a dean who believes and respects survivors." So there's going to be a lot of controversy over that move, him letting him out. A lot of folks who claim that they've been abused sexually. Not going to understand that. I don't understand it either. But the courts do strange things sometimes. But he's out now. He's free, and that they can't try him for that again because it'd be double jeopardy, as I understand the law. But anywho, meanwhile, it's been some 30 years or more since the U.S. Supreme Court established some of the most significant precedents for students in schools. including one that the First Amendment does indeed apply to students in school. But still, sometimes educators don't understand, as happened with the recent case in Illinois where officials confiscated the Bible from a second grader simply because she was reading it during recess and would talk about it with her friends. Now, I don't know how much a second grader can read and understand the Bible as it was written in her English language. I don't know how much that was, but she was reading it. Parents probably taught her a lot. And then she was discussing it with her friends. The documentation of the situation comes in a report from Francis J. Mannion at the American Center for Law and Justice, whose founder, Jay Sekulow, argued some of those precedent-establishing cases at the Supreme Court. A little girl had her Bible confiscated by school officials. How could this still be happening in America? It's because local school officials still don't seem to have gotten the message. We recently heard from the parents of Gabriel, the second grader in Illinois. It seems Gabriel likes to bring her Bible to school and read it during recess. Sometimes she reads it aloud, and sometimes other kids listen in and talk to her about what she's reading. Constitutional crisis? It shouldn't be. But little Gabriel had her Bible taken away by a teacher, so you just can't be doing that, end quote. Now, how's that going to affect that little girl or other girls and boys around her? If she's an adult authority figure taking the Bible out of her hands, so you can't do that. What kind of freedom is that in America? The school then told the little girl's parents she was not allowed to read the Bible during recess. They objected, and the school changed its course slightly, determining she could read it during outside recess, but not during inside recess. Read it outdoors, but not indoors. That was after the school confirmed that there were no complaints about the reading. You see, folks, these adults can be the problem sometimes when they have a little sense of authority and they get nervous about all the noise that's been made from the left about, oh, we can't do that. That's again. If they do the research and read and find out what the real answer is, they would be so anxious to do what this lady did. They confirmed there were no complaints about the Bible reading, but this teacher, within her own authority, took the Bible away, told her she couldn't do that. It was a simple case of public school officials' hypersensitivity to the specter of a threat from the ACLU or some similar spreader of long debunked propaganda about separation of church and state. Nobody has yet shown me in the Constitution or the Bill of Rights anything about separation of church and state. Her parents then called the ACLJ and its lawyers in a letter with an explanation of what the law allows. Quote, we let them know about the now half-century-old Supreme Court case of Tinker versus Des Moines Independent School District, 393 U.S. 503, 1969. In Tinker, students wore black armbands on their sleeves to exhibit their disapproval of the Vietnam War and were sent home and suspended from school. Ruling in the students' favor, the Supreme Court in Tinker held that students do not shed their constitutional rights to freedom of speech or expression at the schoolhouse gate, end quote. So the school then reversed itself regarding the Bible reading. The report said, okay, it'll be all right. They let her. See, you gotta fight, folks. You gotta stand up for what you think is the right thing to do. You can't whip around and afraid what the ACLU might say to you, or anyone else for that matter. If you know what is right, if you know the Constitution and you know the Judeo-Christian values and you know the Scriptures and you know where that authority comes from, then we don't have to be afraid of what the black side says or the dark side says or the all that left side says. So there you go. All right, let's see what else we got. Feminists want corporations to punish states that pass pro-life laws protecting babies. You know what I'm saying? A feminist wants corporations to punish states that pass pro-life laws protecting babies. In other words, if North Carolina passed a pro-life law, which they will not do probably as long as the governor we have there is there, but if North Carolina passed a pro-life law, making it illegal to have abortion in North Carolina, that this feminist is wanting corporations that reside in North Carolina to leave or punish the state somehow or kind of do what the All-Star folks did in Atlanta. Just punish them, pull out. Before we dissect the latest pro-abortion harangue by the New York Times, Linda Greenhouse, it's instructive to read what follows her plea threat for corporate pro-abortion activists, or else. It reads, "The Times is committed to publishing a diversity of letters to the editor." Of course, now any diverse letters against the Times stridently pro-abortion stance would be as welcome as ants at a picnic. Now, a contributing opinion writer, Greenhouse for nearly 30 years contributed anti-life opinions in the form of wholly one-sided news stories. The gist of her 1,216-word-long op-ed piece posted at early one morning is straightforward. We live in a time when the country is drowning in anti-abortion fanaticism. While you're at it, tell us how you really feel. And if a thin slice of corporate America has taken progressive stands on other issues, well, how about taking another big step? And this brings us to a subject that corporate America would evidently prefer not to talk about. That's abortion. I've missed something, but I've been listening hard. So far I've heard is the sound of silence. There are not enough people standing up and speaking up against abortion. Bothers me. To be clear, Greenhouse concedes that, for the most part, the progressive stands on other issues taken by a segment of corporate America are but a fleeting suspension of the business of making money. No matter. So, in other words, what if the Supreme Court takes another look at the abortion and gives states additional leeway to protect unborn babies and their mothers? To Greenhouse, it would be a Handmaid's Tale dystopia come to life. I wonder if pro-abortionists have any idea how absurd they look protesting, dressed in red robes and blinkering white bonnets, described by one sympathetic writer as the uniform of reproductive slavery in Margaret Atwood's dystopia novel, The Handmaid's Tale. So they're out there fighting all along. We don't hear about a lot of that, but we know it's there. And I want you to know that it's there. It's 8:47 right now, and let's do this.
Enjoying music, hanging out with friends, church picnics, fishing, and playing in the creeks and streams of our beautiful mountains. This is summer in Western North Carolina. Getting vaccinated brings us one step closer to enjoying all of that and more. In fact, it's our best shot at getting back to normal. Let's give it a shot, WNC, and bring back summer together. Get vaccinated today. Visit myspot.nc.gov to find your best shot. That's myspot.nc.gov.
It's our 30th anniversary, but you get the gifts. That's right, Carolina West Wireless is celebrating our anniversary and celebrating you in a big way with incredible savings, like $350 off a new iPhone 12 or a $150 credit when you bring in your own device. And as our special gift to you, get an additional $30 off any other device promo in our store. Stop by today and let's celebrate our 30th anniversary together. Carolina West Wireless, celebrating 30, celebrating you. Certain restrictions apply. See store for details or visit carolinawest.com/terms and conditions.
Got just a few more comments, and now we got to clear out here some clear little voiceways for My Great America with Jim and Butch coming up at 9:05 this morning. The View, I don't know how many of you watch that show. I hope none of you. But The View, that's the one with Whoopi Goldberg. She praised a teenager who used her graduation speech to promote killing babies. Yep, and the liberal media is in love with a Dallas high school student who used her valedictorian speech to wail about a Texas law restricting abortions. Of course, the hosts of The View were enamored as well with the brave teen making a stand, holding up democracy and speaking truth to power. Well, moderator Whoopi Goldberg held the student ditching the speech her school approved her to take a stand against the state's latest anti-abortion law. She was proud of the fact that the teenager praised killing babies. Then she prompted her co-host with some gooey questions like, well, we're always telling young people to figure out where they stand and make a stand. Sonny, do you think this was the place for her to go off script? She asked co-host Sonny Hostin, or Hostin, I'm not sure. Hostin, who is a self-professed Catholic who thinks Jesus would lead pride parades and defend abortion, even though he says she's pro-life. She thinks Jesus would be in favor of abortion and lead gay pride parades. She lauded the young woman upholding democracy by exercising the First Amendment. See how distorted their minds are, their views are on that. I think they're under those spotlights so much, and have breathed in that makeup so much they lose their brains. You know what I'm saying? She says she's pro-life, but she thinks Jesus, and she says she's an active Catholic, and she says she thinks Jesus would approve of gay marriages, and she thinks Jesus would lead a pride march down New York City, I guess, wherever. So, I don't know. Folks, maybe it is the spotlight. Maybe it's the audience that cheers them on when they say stupid stuff like that. It just cheers them on, and this just continues to let them go. Well, Ted Cruz has 15 things you can't say anymore because they can get you fired, canceled, or erased. You ever noticed that? Some things we just are not allowed to say anymore because the left don't like it. Ted Cruz said, I'm going to commit a radical act. I'm going to speak the truth. In address to the Faith and Freedom Conference last week, Cruz proclaimed some things that you can't say without getting ridiculed or maybe fired or spit upon. Some of these things you're not allowed to say anymore, it seems. America is great. Christopher Columbus discovering America was a good thing. George Washington was an American hero. Thomas Jefferson was an American hero. Abraham Lincoln was an American hero. Our founding fathers were extraordinary patriots. America has been a force for good in the world. We should stand for a national anthem. Police officers keep us safe. Marriage is a holy covenant before God. Unborn child is a child. Children do best when they are raised by mother and father. Israel is our friend. The Wuhan virus came from Wuhan, and there is a difference between boys and girls. Those are the things Senator Ted Cruz is saying he's finding that we can't say. In the past, those statements would have been uncontroversial. Those folks would have been roused applause. But now they can cost you your job and get you fired, canceled, and erased by intolerant liberals. And that is a shame that we let that happen. Our side is stronger in principle. Our side is stronger in character. Our side is stronger in Judeo-Christian values that speak the truth. Our side is stronger in believing in the Constitution and believing in the waving of the flag and standing and respecting it when it is flown and respecting the national anthem instead of turning our back on it. Our side is more in favor of July the 4th celebration than the other side. At least that's my thoughts. My opinion, I'm sticking to it. All right, it's 8:53. I'm going to take a little break here. My Great America with Jim and Rich coming up here in just a few moments. Let me remind you, the Owls are on the radio tonight with us. 7:05 first pitch. Owls and the Spartanburgers. The Braves will be playing the Mets again in their third game of the series. They beat them last night, big time, 20-2. Tonight, we'll see if they win again. And then on Saturday, the Braves take on the series with the Marlins. And July 4th weekend's coming up. Make your plans to enjoy. If you do, I don't know, it's still illegal. Most fireworks are illegal in North Carolina, but if you do slip around and do something, make sure he's safe. Keep the kids safe. Don't get them in trouble. Get some of those, be safe, I guess, some of those sparklers, that what these sparkle out of, and then you can bend the end of it and twirl it around, makes it. Anyway, you know. Oh, my goodness. My Great America with Jimmy Butch, about 10 minutes away from right now. Meanwhile,
WCAB, the music's on us.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Signs of an improving economy. Claims for first-time unemployment benefits reaching a new pandemic low. Here's ABC's Elizabeth Schulze.
The Labor Department says 364,000 Americans filed new claims for jobless benefits last week. That's still a higher level than before the pandemic, but it's a big improvement from just a month ago. Economists expect layoffs will continue to decline this summer as consumer demand surges.
Consumer demand for travel continuing to surge, and a lot of it will happen this weekend.
American and Southwest are still canceling dozens of flights per day. American with the pilot shortage, Southwest blames the weather. And while TSA insists it's ready, a warning from the TSA union head.
Because of the fact that, there are shortage in staffing, there are going to be long lines. Just be patient.
Even airport parking is running low. New York area airports now asking travelers to reserve a spot online.
ABC Transportation correspondent Gio Benitez. President Biden is on his way to South Florida. He and the First Lady will meet with family members of those affected by the condo building collapse in Surfside. They will also be talking with first responders and those who've been searching through the pile of rubble for a full week now.
The dangerous and desperate search now intensifying. Crews racing against the clock as the potential for tropical weather moves in. Federal search teams now on the ground to help backfill state resources who need to respond to the storms.
ABC's Morgan Norwood in Surfside. The Trump Organization longtime chief financial officer Alan Weisselberg has surrendered to authorities in New York.
Weisselberg is the most important person in the Trump Organization who is not a member of the Trump family. The big question now is whether prosecutors can get him to testify against Donald Trump. Although Mr. Trump is not charged today, not expected to be charged today, this may be only the beginning of the charges in this case.
ABC's John Carl. You're listening to ABC News.
Oil drilling investments involve a high degree of risk and are only suitable for SEC-accredited investors. Attention high net worth investors. Oil and gas investments have always been an ideal tax advantage and have been a way to invest and take a 100% write-off. The new administration is threatening to take this away. Invest in domestic oil drilling for a full tax credit this year. When you invest in oil, you get a 100% tax write-off. The OPEC cuts, cancellation of the pipeline, and pent-up demand from the pandemic has created the perfect storm for oil prices to shoot upwards. Analysts are predicting it could go over $100. Opportunity is knocking. Support domestic U.S. oil drilling and production and make your patriotic investment in oil and get a complete 100% tax deduction write-off. Call Encore Energy at 800-287-6691. That's 800-287-6691. 800-287-6691. That's 800-287-6691.
The European Union's new COVID passport program starts today. ABC's Inez de la Quatera is in Paris.
The European Union's vaccine passport will prove EU residents have either been vaccinated, recently tested negative for COVID-19, or recently contracted and recovered from the virus. The pass will be recognized in all 27 EU member states, as well as Switzerland, Iceland, Norway, and Liechtenstein. The hope is the passport will make it easier for people to travel around the EU. Inez de la Quatera, ABC News, Paris.
Well, Britney Spears' hopes for getting her dad booted from her conservatorship has been dashed.
Britney Spears made an emotional plea in court last week, accusing her father of emotional abuse and manipulation as her co-conservator, saying that the way he forces her to work is akin to sex trafficking. On Wednesday, a judge denied a request from the singer to remove her father from the conservatorship. Now, the request was made months before last week's startling revelations, but Judge Brenda Penny denied the request Wednesday, a week after hearing Spears speak. That doesn't mean her father can't be removed. It just won't happen anytime soon, and her request to end the conservatorship is still on the table. The next hearing on that is in 2 weeks. Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Hollywood.
Instagram making a change to help Black-owned businesses promote themselves. It's adding a Black-owned label within profile settings. The social network says that could also help businesses get highlighted in Instagram's Shop tab. This is ABC News.
Are you more than $10,000 in debt? Feel like you're on a never-ending treadmill, staying in one place and never getting ahead with those minimum payments? Do you feel like there's no way out? Don't let the credit card companies bully you anymore. There are programs in place to help you get free of your debt, and you don't have to pay the entire amount you owe. The program at Total Financial Freedom can help you get debt-free in months instead of decades. Call Total Financial now at 800-533-6605. That's 800-533-6605.
I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Hello, everyone, and happy Thursday this afternoon. Most of us will be on the drier side with a partly cloudy sky. Hot day ahead, though, with highs today in the low 90s, feeling hotter as well with the humidity this afternoon. Some showers, though, arrive this evening, and especially overnight tonight. We'll see scattered showers and thunderstorms for your Friday morning commute. More rain and storms becoming widespread Friday midday through the afternoon and also into the evening. Highs Friday in the upper 70s and near 80. I'm meteorologist Zach Malak in the Weather Center.
75 degrees currently and beautiful sunny skies out there. It's a great getting up morning here at the foothills. If you're just joining us, this is WCAB 100.9 FM, 590 AM, serving the foothills of the Carolinas. And it's time now for My Great America with Jim and Butch.
It's time now for My Great America with Jim and Butch, a conversation about positive things about this great country. And now here are Jim and Butch.
All right, we're here. Butch had to run up to the office a minute and came back here, and they just clapping me as I ran through the office. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing great. I'm so glad to hear you're in your exercise regimen.
Well, you know what? I've got to make this big announcement, Butch, before we go any further. Faye and I are proud great-grandparents this morning.
Wonderful.
Yes, our little grandbaby was born. Grandbaby was born yesterday about noontime. Weighed about 7.5 pounds, and he is a charming little fellow. By picture, I've not held him yet, have not seen him in person, but we're happy to be great-grandparents for the first time ever.
Jim, that is so wonderful. To God be the glory. And when I'm there sitting next to you on Tuesday, where I'll be for My Great America with Jim and Butch, let's take the opportunity to just celebrate again that you're a great-grandfather. And you know what, Jim? You know what else this is?
What's that?
You know what else this is?
What?
It is existential evidence and proof that you are an old guy. I'm trying to remember how many people I know that are great-grandparents.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful to have my great-grandparent friend, Jim Bishop.
Oh, absolutely. I'm glad I lived long enough to be one.
Yet, you know what? It is so wonderful, and it says in Scripture, children are a blessing of the Lord. And, I was thinking about, by the way, I'm in Newport News, Virginia, right next to Patrick Henry Field. And this morning, on what is warming up to be a hot day, I was telling you before the program started, Jim, I heard the sounds of jets taking off one right after the other. And it's a little known fact, but this Patrick Henry Field, which is not a big airport, has two distinguishing things about it, among other things. One is that it's a place where Air Force One does its practice touch and goes. So it will actually, from my mother's home, right near the 15th hole of the Kiln Creek Golf Course, right over the fence is the airport, and Air Force One will practice touch and goes. But the other thing is there is a private aviation group, that has mostly European latest generation jets, and they will scramble these. There's a squadron of them. They're private fighter pilots. They'll scramble them, and then they'll go out over the ocean and practice against our American military, or our F-18s, Navy pilots, F-22s, the Langley Air Force Base pilots. And all that happens right here, right around the corner from where my mother makes her famous oatmeal raisin cookies. So that's where I'm calling from today. But, Jim, I was on a trip up to Lancaster, Pennsylvania. I called in, of course, from there on Tuesday. And I was thinking of my grandfather. We called him Pop-Pop. He was the production control manager of the Schick Corporation. They moved a plant from Stamford, Connecticut to Lancaster, Pennsylvania. That's how his large family of 11 children, my mother being the oldest, ended up going there. But as I interacted with the family, well over 120, strong, I just thought of the power of a father, what it means to be a father. And I came across this wonderful little article in a Mennonite newspaper that they give for free at the various locations there in eastern Pennsylvania, which, by the way, is called the Fish Wrapper. That's the name. That's the name of the publication, Jim. So I picked up this Fish Wrapper, the latest edition, and this was a little article that was in it. I thought it was so good, and especially as a great-grandfather now, and as someone that has children with a father and a mother and a young baby, this seems so apropos. I'm going to read it now. It's called When a Father Prays. When Father prays, he doesn't use the words the preacher does. They're different things for different days, but mostly it's for us. When Father prays, the house is still. His voice is low and deep. We shut our eyes. The clock ticks loud. So quiet we must keep. He prays that we may be good boys and later on good men, and then we squirm and think we won't have any quarrels again. You never think to look at Dad. He once had tempers too. I guess if Father needs to pray, we youngsters surely do. Sometimes the prayer gets very long and hard to understand, and then I wiggle up quite close, and I let him hold my hand. I can't remember all of it. I'm little yet, you see, but one thing I can't forget. My Father prays for me.
I love that. I love that.
Jim, you know, in the spirit in Paul Harvey and maybe in a little more bombastic way, Rush Limbaugh, I found myself this morning, I got up this morning, I try to have a devotional. I was reading Romans 12:3, by the way, and this is such an important step for all of us. We've got to get centered. We've got to get anchored in the morning. Romans 12:3 has done that for me today. It says, for by the grace of God given to me, I say to every one of you, not to think more highly of himself and of his importance and ability than he ought to think, but to think so as to have sound judgment, as God has apportioned to each a degree of faith and a purpose designed for service. Romans 12:3. And so, Jim, my prayer this morning, even as we were getting on the air here, was, God, whatever your purpose is for me today, I want to accomplish that. It says in Holy Scripture, God's Word, that's unshakable and never changes, that he has a book for each of us, a book of life. And our prayer every day needs to be, Jesus, what is your plan for my life? I have no opinions. I have no plans. It's not my will. It's your will today. And I know that his will on Tuesdays and Thursdays is to share a few moments with my friends. So Romans 12:3 was the anchoring scripture for me today. But Jim, just to shift gears a little bit. So yes. I drove with my mother. 6.5, 7 hours from Pennsylvania to Virginia, and along the road, I could not believe it. An incredible memory came back to me. We used to have a Ford Falcon station wagon in the 60s. And by the way, Robert McNamara, he was the Ford executive before he joined the U.S. Defense Department as Defense Secretary. He's regarded, believe it or not, in Ford Motor Company history as the father of the Falcon. We had 4 children, a mom and dad. There were no seat belts. There were metal dashboards. We would crawl around in the car as we drove, and I'm still here living to tell the story. But, on the way and coming back from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and by the way, there are going to be 47 million Americans, according to AAA, that are going to travel in the United States this weekend. That is almost fully back to the recovery of pre-pandemic levels. Going to have a lot of people on the road. But anyway, so we're driving through, and at the major intersection of 301 and Route 17, Jim, there it was, Horns Restaurant, Hornes. We used to stop there all the time, Horns Restaurant. Did you ever have roadside places that you'd stop at?
Oh, yeah. I'm not familiar with Horns, but there are those that, as I've traveled, I always look for. Of course, my favorite place to stop is Chick-fil-A.
Okay. Well, yeah. Well, Chick-fil-A came much later, Jim. But Horns, this Horns Restaurant, it brought back so many memories, So I said to my mother, I said, Mom, you can call her Joyce. Mom, do you mind if we stop? And our first visit there was in, I believe, 1963. And Jim, so I found myself, your friend Butch loves history. I found myself going back and researching some of the history. Horn's Restaurant, there in Port Royal, was founded in 1960 by Bob Horn. Now, it was expanded from a single family-owned restaurant into an empire. 60 years later, unfortunately, that Horn's that we stopped at yesterday is the only original restaurant of the chain that's still thriving. So I took videos, I took pictures, I sent them to my brother Mark in Greensboro, my sister Kim, my remaining sister Kim, who lives here in the Tidewater area. But it's so interesting because what I learned that I never knew is that Horn's Restaurant in 1964, the Greyhound Corporation, bought it from Bob Horn for $14 million because Greyhound had money. Yeah, and they were looking for places that would coincide with great Greyhound stops. And when he sold his company, he had 55 restaurants in 15 states, and from there in 1965 there were 60 restaurants, 6 motor lodges. And Greyhound was serving through that subsidiary about 275 million meals per year, and
that's a lot.
And then it went into decline from there. And so, to make a long story short, there's only one restaurant that remains. It's the one we stopped at. It still features, and I saw it yesterday, almost all of the original designs. It's got all kinds of, like souvenirs and things that you buy. It has the original equipment used for making their milkshakes, which I said yesterday. Yeah, I love things like that.
Oh, that's some memories for you, I'm sure. Those are rare when you find the original store that all the others have closed down or been sold out, and yet one, the original store. I like to hear that story.
Well, and it just feels like a slice of Americana. Now, what's interesting, Jim, is that I remember from the years ago, they still feature on their menu one of the same items that was back there in 1963. You know what it's called?
No.
It's called the Circus Burger.
Circus Burger.
It's called the Circus Burger, Jim. I know we're going a different direction than perhaps you thought we would today. It's a hamburger, a loose hamburger, not the firm patty, that's got coleslaw, among other things. Now, other items that I saw on the menu were their own version of fried chicken, charbroiled meats of different kinds, steak, home-baked pecan pie. They serve breakfast all day long, and they've got 42 varieties of kettle fresh candies and chocolates. Their themes through the years were your highway host for food and candies, your high host for one-stop service, look for the yellow roof, and the happy stop along the highway. So that brought back some pleasant memories. Once we got to that particular Horn's location, we knew it was 2 hours to get home, and my mother had a wonderful time, and we ate far too much, but it was a pleasant memory.
Come pick me up, and we'll go back out there and try that again.
Jim, I was thinking that we need to get a hold, as we say in my church, we use the phrase "get a hold of things." At my church, Word of Faith Fellowship, we need to get a hold of you and I doing a road trip sometime.
That'd be interesting.
I would love to do that. We could have Todd and Lou and Tracy man the microphone, and we could call in.
That'd be great, wouldn't it? We could travel from beautiful downtown Whiteside Road over to Ruth.
Exactly. On Railroad Avenue there, I guess they've got that. They're calling it like a little shopping mall in Roots now. They've got a gaming place. They've got a laundromat and one other store there. And I thought it was so ambitious and entrepreneurial. There's actually like a sign that says it doesn't say the Roots Shopping Center, but it's something along those lines. I love when people are entrepreneurial. Now, did you ever go to south of the border?
I did go there a few times over my travels. Are they still operating?
Yeah, he's still. Now, Jim, I know it because you asked. South of the border, was developed by Alan Schaefer in 1950. And it was in Robeson County, which was one of many dry North Carolina counties. And so they used to, I guess, have an alcohol place there, which, of course, is as somebody that's had deliverance from alcohol, I'm so grateful not to be in that dark world anymore. But anyway, it was a business that steadily expanded with Mexican trinkets, which would probably, in our woke culture today, they would be called racist for what they did, wouldn't they?
I suspect so, and I remember seeing some of those sombreros they used to have in the store there.
Well, yeah, those are probably not good. We need to cancel sombreros, but they have a souvenir shop. No more sombreros. Get them out of your closet. They expanded into fireworks sales. They also were capitalizing on the fact that fireworks at the time were illegal in North Carolina. In 1964, it was announced that the route for I-95 would pass right by south of the border, and the facility would be next to two exits and within view of the highway. By the mid-1960s, south of the border had expanded to include a barber shop, a drugstore, a variety store, a post office, an outdoor go-kart track, complete with other outdoor recreational facilities, and a 104-foot tall image of their mascot, Pedro. Over the years, the billboards with messages, some considered racist and offensive, changed to become tamer while still retaining the same tongue-in-cheek tone. What they would do is 1,000 miles away, Jim, they would have a sign that says only 1,003 miles to south of the border.
I remember those.
And at one time there were 700 employees that they had working out of Dillon County, South Carolina, and they had over 300 of their signs all over the United States. So I love just stories like that are a slice of Americana. And I have to tell you that they had a special item that they featured at Horns that I got for the children, that I go and spend time with Johanna and Carson and Aiden and Gavin and Larissa and Marissa. I have a group of children I'm with. So I got them a little bag with a booklet of semi-precious stones. And one Thursday night when we're together, we're going to go ahead and have a little lesson on the power and miracles of God's creativity with gemstones in the earth. So anyway, my heart's full this morning, Jim, with some memories of what life used to be. But you know what? We're called to live life today as a bright beacon of God's blessing everywhere that we go. And that's one of the reasons why I love the path of your life. I've known you to get stirred before, but it's over unrighteousness and what's happening with our country. You've always been pleasant and encouraging with the people I've seen you interact with, and that's been a good model for me.
Well, thank you. I was thinking as you were giving about the south of the border, I remember seeing all of those signs of travel, and I appreciate and love the imagination and creativity of folks that believed in marketing like that. Like you say, 1,000 miles away, they had kind of a tongue-in-cheek kind of thing, but it worked for them. It proved to be very successful for them, and I like that kind of entrepreneur. I enjoy reading road signs as I go around and travel. I also enjoy reading the signs on signs out front of churches. A lot of times they have a little saying that means a lot to me at that particular moment, and much of it is based on Scripture, of course. But our friend Joe sent one. Let me share this one. It's not the church one, but he somewhere, I believe in Landrum, it said, "Welcome to Californians fleeing communism." One of these signs out front of Thompson Hauling in Topsoil. "Welcome to Californians fleeing communism." And I know there are a lot of folks leaving California for that.
Yes, exactly. You know, of course, that's Joe English. We go to church together. He's a dear brother. We often text each day and try to encourage each other. You know, Scripture tells us, by the way, and Jim, you and I try to do this with each other. We're called to encourage each other in the faith and to spur each other on to good works. And that's one of the things that I love so much about being in a community and a fellowship of faith. We take hold of each other. You know, we notice things. You know, hey, Butch, it seems like you're not, that wasn't right what you said. And, you know, it's so great to be in friendships where you don't have to feel insecure You know people love you, and Joe is one of those people. I try to be the same with him, and you and I, of course, are that way. You know, you can also learn a lot about bumper stickers, you know, about people and about what's going on. I love to look at bumper stickers, church signs. You know, I from the time I was little, from the time I was collecting church material in the vestibule. You remember that word?
Vestibule. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it was a good Scrabble word. Vestibules and foyers
sure.
of churches.
Yep.
Yeah, I love to read so much. I would just go collect anything that was out there in the different churches we went to. But you know, this fish wrapper paper also had another powerful little article. Let me share this with you. It's titled "Where Danger Lies." I am more deadly than the screaming shell from a missile. I ruin without killing. I tear down homes. I break hearts and wreck lives. I have no respect for truth or justice, no mercy for the defenseless. You will find me in the pews of the pious and the haunts of the unholy. I am wily, cunning, malicious, and I gather strength with age. I make my way where greed, mistrust, and dishonor are unknown. I feed on good and bad alike. My victims are as numerous as the sands of the sea, and often as innocent. I never forgive and seldom forget. My name is Gossip.
Oh, yeah. Boy, there's plenty of that going around.
Yeah, there really is, Jim. And, you know, Scripture makes it say, isn't that powerful?
Yes, it is.
You know, I'm going to bring you a copy. We're going to see if we can't subscribe to the East Lancaster, Pennsylvania edition of the Fish Wrapper. That was a little article tucked away there right next to an head for the IGTA Victory Weekend Truck Show.
Wow.
Lebanon Valley Fairgrounds. Oh, yeah. Truck arrival, vendor activity and food. Victory Weekend program begins. Music, children's area, veterans honored, gospel presentation. And they've got all these pictures of Peterbilt trucks. It's $10 a person. So right next to that, you've got Where Danger Lies, that little article. And, you know, Jim, gossip is a sin. And we need to be so careful that we don't cut people to the quick with our reckless and loose words. The book of James tells us about what the tongue is like. It's like the rudder on a ship, and we got to let God get a hold of it, don't we?
Absolutely. You got to tie that monster down because it does get loose and out of hand. And unfortunately, our friend Facebook can certainly be an enemy when folks use it for gossiping purposes.
So true. And so as we come to the end of the program, and we're rounding the home stretch already here, Jim, and I'm looking forward to sitting right across the table from you this coming Tuesday. I have a question for you.
All right.
Okay. Here's the ending question. Can America have a political leader who reflects humility, service, self-sacrifice, modesty, meekness, kindness, empathy, honesty, integrity, compassion, and love? Is that asking too much to have a leader that reflects those things?
It is not asking too much, and I think we have had leaders such as that you described, and I think at some point we'll get another one, and I hope we do. Yes, we're not asking too much to ask for those qualities and character traits in an individual. Speaking of rallying around, let me say that I hope folks will rally across America this weekend because it's a big celebration in honor of our great America. And if people have flags, fly the flags. If you get the family and do some cooking out, just enjoy the freedoms that we have because we're free today because some folks ahead of us did what they did to help us be free today.
No question. And let's remember that our freedom is not free, and it's the living God whose hand upon this country has made it the great nation that it is. Let's do our part to serve him and celebrate this great nation. It is a great America, Jim. God bless America.
God bless America. See you next week.
All right, Jim.
Thank you for joining us for My Great America with Jim and Butch. Join us each Tuesday and Thursday morning at 9:05 for this enlightening program on 100.9 FM and 590 AM. It's My Great America with Jim and Butch.